Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there were two brothers, Ubede and Ojoma. Ubede was the older brother and very wealthy. He was also a close friend of the king, but he was greedy and often oppressed Ojoma. Ubede always looked for ways to take over Ojoma's portion of the land they inherited from their late father. At the start of each planting season, Ubede would clear his portion of the land first, not because he was hardworking, but to encroach on his brother's land. He would clear a large part of Ojoma's land along with his own. When Ojoma complained, Ubede would threaten to use his wealth and connection to the king to harm him. Ojoma became poorer and poorer, losing most of his inheritance to his brother. Eventually, Ojoma was left with just a small piece of land and no crops to plant on it. He was very unhappy and lonely. One day, Ojoma saw his brother's wife preparing yams. She cut off the heads of the yams and threw them away. Ojoma thought, "Wait a minute, isn't that the head of the yam she just threw away? I should pick it up and plant it on my farm." He quickly sneaked to where she threw it, picked it up, and found more yam heads to gather. Unknown to him, Ubede saw him and wondered what he was up to. "I will keep an eye on him," Ubede thought. This continued for a while. Each time Ubede's wife disposed of the yam heads, Ojoma would go and pick them up until he had gathered enough. He took them to his farm and planted them, taking very good care of his farm. Soon, the yams began to grow and looked very healthy. His farm was doing better than any other in the village. Ojoma was happy and hopeful. One morning, Ojoma thought it was time to harvest the yams. He took a basket, a cutlass, and a hoe, and headed towards the farm. Ubede saw him and immediately knew where he was going and what he was up to. Secretly, he followed him. Ojoma reached the farm and dug out the first yam, which was very big. Ubede thought, "Ha! It's time to act. That yam is really big. I'll have it all to myself." He rushed into the farm and shouted at his brother. "Hey brother, what do you think you are doing?" he yelled. "What is it this time?" Ojoma asked. "I'm in my farm, not yours. I am harvesting my crops, not yours." "Who said it's not mine?" Ubede retorted. "You think I don't know? All those times you were sneaking to steal the yam heads my wife threw into the garden, you think I didn't see you? Now, if you don't leave this place right now, I will use my wealth and my connection with the king to deal with you. You already know he's my friend and will do anything I ask of him." Sad and defeated, Ojoma took his basket and tools and started back home. "So, this is all mine," Ubede said. "I have to get my wife and kids to harvest these yams today. How did he manage to make his farm this fruitful? I will need a new barn by the time I'm done harvesting this," he said and left. Unknown to Ubede, an elderly and righteous man from the village saw everything that had happened. "I need to do something," he thought. "I can't allow this injustice to happen." He went and gathered the people of the village. "What is the punishment for stealing in our village?" he asked. "Banishment," one of them answered. "And how bad will it be when it's the rich stealing from the poor?" he asked again. There was a great murmur of anger and disapproval. He marched them straight to the king's palace, who, upon hearing there was a thief somewhere, got angry and followed them to the farm. When they got there, they caught Ubede red-handed, harvesting Ojoma's yams with his family. Most of the villagers already knew Ubede to be a very wicked man, and they would hear nothing from him and his wife this time. It was very difficult for the king to save him, for they all caught him red-handed. Ubede and his family were instantly banished from the village, and all that belonged to him was given to his younger brother, Ojoma. The moral lesson in this story is, greed and injustice will eventually lead to downfall. True prosperity comes from honesty and hard work, not from taking advantage of others.